What's up, guys? All right, so in this video, I want to talk about the half guard. Essentially, understanding the half guard position when you're starting out in Jiu Jitsu. The half guard can be a tricky position, especially when you're starting out. Not only because of the leg entanglement, but really because it doesn't fit so neatly into that positional hierarchy. So here we are in half guard. And like most positions, there are different ranges in half guard. For example, here Brian's further back and I have a knee shield. But when you first get started in half guard, when you're a white belt, it's typical that the range is going to be closer because the person on top is going to be looking to put pressure on you. All right, and this can be confusing for people on the bottom, just because, you know, one, being on the bottom is not natural when you first get started in Jiu Jitsu, and there's some degree of a leg entanglement. All right. So half guard, right? We both have two legs and one of them is trapped. Now, back 20 years ago when Jiu Jitsu was first kind of getting developed, half guard meant to most people halfway to getting your guard pass. But that should not be the way that you think of it. There's a tremendous amount of offensive options that I could launch from half guard, okay? And there are some fundamental principles you're gonna want to keep in mind when you're on the bottom to keep yourself safe. 3 in particular. 1, that I always trap his leg, looking to keep his knee pinned to the mat in between my legs. 2, that I always prevent against the cross face. All right. And 3, that I try and remain on the side of my body, not flat on my back, and out from underneath my opponent. All right. So let's go back to number 1. All right. Here I want to make sure to trap Brian's leg. This is important because if I leave his leg untrapped, Brian very easily can then just pass my guard. All right. So I want to make sure to trap his leg. Now, folks, when they're first starting out, make the mistake of using this leg, the free leg, to trap their opponent's leg for the purpose of trapping their opponent's leg. Now, I like to do this, but for specific offensive purposes and techniques, not for the purpose of just trapping his leg. I like to have this leg available to base on the mat, to use as a knee shield if you were to posture up, and to perhaps even attack his arm, all right, among other things. So that being said, which leg am I going to use to trap Brian's leg in half guard? It's going to be the leg that is itself trapped between Brian's legs, all right? When in half guard, I'm always going to have one leg that's trapped between my opponent's legs, and that's the leg that I want to use to trap his leg, all right? So that covers foundation number 1 in bottom half guard. Always trap the leg and trap it using the leg that is itself trapped between your opponents, all right? Number 2, protect against the crossface. Now I have a bunch of options for this. I could use my bottom hand, I could use my top hand, I could use both hands, and if I have no hands available, I could tuck my ear to his chest and my head under his chin to prevent against the crossface. But you're always going to want to prevent against this crossface. This is going to be making it very difficult to retain your goal, all right? So 1, I'm trapping his leg. 2, I'm preventing against the crossface, all right? And 3, I want to be off my back. I don't want to be flat on my back. I want to be on the side of my body, all right? Now, here's the thing. Which side of my body? A lot of times, folks start out in Jiu Jitsu, they find themselves in bottom half guard. They know they got to get off their back, and they look to turn to this direction, and they end up only flattening themselves to the back more. So how do I know which direction to turn instinctually when I find myself in bottom half guard? Well, I'm always going to turn to the side of the leg that's itself trapped between Brian's leg. My left leg is in between his legs, I'm going to turn to the left. All right? Very simple. So I'm trapping his leg, I'm protecting against the crossface, and I'm on the side of my body that corresponds to the leg that's in between Brian's. Good. So now I'm in a pretty good position. So it's important that you have the right frame of mind when you're in bottom half guard. So I like to think of bottom half guard as basically halfway to controlling my opponent's back. All right? And it's important that you think that. The common mistake in the beginning is to look to be too far this way. And this leaves my opponent too much space to either pass my guard or control me. I actually want to start to think of myself as escaping out this direction and moving in this direction, getting underneath him and occupying his center of gravity, whether I'm looking to come up this way or look to come underneath him this way. All right. So hopefully that kind of covers some of the basic fundamental principles of how you're going to want to position yourself when you're in bottom half guard, right? Be on the side of your body, that corresponds to your trapped leg, okay? Protect against the crossface, either with one arm, both arms, or by having your ear to his chest under the chin. and always trap the half guard leg using the leg that is itself trapped between your opponents. All right? Hopefully that helps, guys.